Welcome back to the channel. We're going to be talking about SDRs. We're also going to be talking about Tether and a few other Ripple things and XRP in this video. Stick with me. Let's go. So it says, from Smoke, timely coincidence or strategically unfolding the impending collapse of Tether. Recent events suggest interconnected developments with potential consequences for Tether. Stablecoin regulations for stablecoins are expected within the next 6 to 12 months, potentially legitimizing regulated stablecoins while threatening unregulated ones like Tether. Compliance with transparency and reserve requirements will challenge Tether, which will be faced with scrutiny in these areas. Cybersecurity threats. The U.S. Treasury confirmed China's involvement in hacking U.S. financial services, highlighted vulnerabilities in financial infrastructure. Tether's opaque operations make it particularly susceptible to losing trust in the event of a cyber attack or a reserve issue. Interconnected outcomes. While regulatory advancements and cyber attacks may seem unrelated, both are tied to broader efforts to secure financial systems. A significant incident affecting Tether could accelerate the adoption of regulated alternatives. Tether faces increasing regulatory pressure and potential cybersecurity risks that could diminish its dominance, signaling a rise of regulated digital assets. And it talks here a little bit more. Listen, like Tether could become regulated if they wanted to, but I think there's a problem there. That's my personal feeling, right? Like, if I had $130 billion stablecoin, I would go out of my way to tell people and prove to people that I have the reserves to back that up, right? Like, if you have $130 billion stablecoin and you can't prove that there's value to back it up, that's a problem. That's a problem on a scale that we can't even fathom. And that's also a black swan event that we cannot predict what will happen and what the shoe will drop. What I think is going to happen here, guys, is one of two things. I do think that RLUSD is going to take market share away from Tether because banks are only going to want to use the highest regulated financial stablecoin, period, end of story. And that is real USD. Okay. I know Mark Yusko was talking shit about XRP and Ripple the other day. I don't really care what that guy thinks. I don't think you should either. But I do think that Tether could have some problems in the future. I do not keep any money in Tether. Sometimes I get paid to do dedicated videos where I go over a project and give my honest opinion about it. If I get paid in Tether, I immediately change it over to USDC. Period. End of story. So Smoke says in 2025, what we're looking at, maybe Ripple IPO, RLUSD, XRP ETF, Gary Gensler departs, Ripple SEC case dropped, XRP surpassing all-time high. So let me go through this with you real quick. Ripple IPO. The stock market has been on the most incredible run. Trump is inheriting one of the best economies in decades. If you don't believe that, I don't know what to tell you. The stock market, all of that has hit all-time high after all-time high after all-time high. Job market is the numbers are some of the best numbers that we've seen in decades. The economy is going really well. So let's hope that he can continue growing that economy and doing better. I do think that there's a lot of FOMO and there's a lot of like froth in the stock market. And so I don't know if Ripple wants to IPO going into maybe the tail end of that bull market in the stock market. I do think we might have some, rough things ahead that are going to happen in the economy, depending on what Trump decides to do. And so I just hope he makes good decisions. I hope he's surrounding himself with smart people and we can keep growing this. But I don't think Ripple will IPO. I think they're just going to hold off. They've been doing buybacks, right? If you're planning to IPO, why would you be doing buybacks, right? Like, I don't know. USD obviously launched. We know that's going to be big. XRP, they will come in 2025. Gary Gensler's already departing the day that Trump is inaugurated. Ripple versus SEC case will be dropped. I do think that's going to happen. I think it's over. I mean, you had Ripple just donate $5 million to the Trump inaugural campaign. And then XRP surpassing ETH market cap. It's just a matter of time, guys. It's just a matter of time, right? When you're talking about tokenization of value, you're talking about their stablecoin. There's so much stuff happening right now in the XRP ledger, and imagine how much more could happen. So let's talk about SDRs, which are standard drawing rights. All right, so let me real quick. What are SDRs. Let me just bring this up so I can go through this with you so you understand this a little bit better. Okay. What is the purpose of an SDR? The IMF created the SDR as a supplementary international reserve asset in 1969 when currencies were tied to the price of gold and US dollar, and then were a leading international reserve asset. The IMF defined the SDRs as equivalent to fractional amount of gold that was equivalent to $1 US. So who holds SDRs? The individuals and private entities cannot hold SDRs. The IMF members, the IMF itself hold SDRs. So these are countries that hold these reserves in reserve. So I just wanted to give you that backstory. So it says SDRs will be used in both private and public transactions, signing with a major shift in their functionality and scope. To enable a broader application, entities beyond the IMF will likely require to hold and interact with ESDRs, positioning them as a key instrument in the evolving global financial landscape. The adoption of ESDR addresses several persistent issues within the global financial system. I think E stands for electronic. By promoting fairness in international trade and reducing currency friction, especially as central bank digital currencies become increasingly prevalent. ESDRs represent a critical tool for improving economic efficiency and cooperation. Most significantly, the introduction of a digital, inherently neutral super sovereign currency holds the potential to level the global economic playing field. The IMF have actively sought to develop and implement ESDRs as part of the vision for a more inclusive and balanced financial framework. This initiative underscores their commitment to fostering stability and fairness in an increasing interconnected global economy. Don't take my word for it or anyone else. It is all in the proof. So he's highlighting this really quickly. So to become the world central bank, the IMF would need to extend the same treatment to both developed and developing countries while their activity regulating their economic policies. In addition, a super sovereign world currency could avoid the internal risks of sovereign currency and regulate global liquidity while maintaining currency stability, right? So they're talking about cryptocurrency being an SDR to really kind of balance things out. As currencies move up and down and fluctuate due to inflation and other issues, something like maybe a stable coin, or not a stable coin, excuse me, I misspoke there. Something like an XRP, a bridge asset, or an XLM, something that has a true value of liquidity that they could hold in reserve to back up all this. I think that's a possibility. As a result, the functioning of the SDR as a price currency and means of settlement needs to be reformed and strengthened, establishing SDR rules and improving SDR distribution methods. With the rise of the internet using blockchain technology, it has become possible to develop a decentralized, highly secure, credit-worthy international digital monetary system. Let me ask you this question. Who has been working with the IMF the longest? Which cryptocurrency company? I'll give you a hint. It's Ripple. Okay. Ripple. World Economic Forum, BIS, IMF. What else do you need, right? If they choose to work with a company, they are going to want to work with one of the best and biggest companies in the digital asset space. It's not going to be AVAX, ladies and gentlemen. It's definitely not going to be Solana, the meme coin land, right? We know it's not going to be Binance, right? What do you think is left here? XRP, XLM, of course you have HBAR, Algorand. Those are great choices. And it could be a basket of those that we see that appear in all of this, right? There's a little bit more stuff here. Cryptocurrency SDRs says ESDRs would be backed by their value tied to the basket of SDRs underlying currency in the SDR composite ratio. The ESDR would be a stable coin. ESDRs could be based on blockchain technology, thus providing new functions, right? And there has been mention of XRP being called a stable coin. Now, this comes back to have central banks come together and decided on a price for XRP. Now, I think this is a rumor that's obviously been going around the crypto space for some time. Is there a deal? Was there a deal made? And if so, what was that deal, right? If XRP was... If the central banks and everyone got together and decided that the value of each XRP would be $1,000 or $100 or $5, whatever it is, and it would have to be a stable value, I don't know how that would work. I'm not David Schwartz, but is that a possibility? Let me know down in the comments. I know there's a lot of really incredibly smart people that watch this channel. Let me know what you think, please. Definitely. Okay. And here's on some of their documentation talking about ESDR and cryptocurrency, right? So that's really cool. Russia's digital ruble will be integrated into everyday financial practices in 2025. Additionally, the head of the EU, Gemini, recently stated that she believes we are entering the exponential growth phase of cryptocurrency as the use of crypto for everyday payments is on the verge of becoming a reality, guys. This is definitely something that is becoming a reality. It's going to happen in Europe first, with MiCA coming into effect now, because it is the new year, and the US, I don't think, will be far behind. Hopefully Trump and his team will get it done. JP Morgan now projects that tokenization markets potentially could hit 30 trillion by 2027. Here we go, guys. The number keeps rising. The reason the number keeps rising is because once they start tokenizing stuff and they realize how freaking easy it is and how much control they have over who owns what, where everything is, it's all coming. Stocks, bonds, derivatives, it's all coming, right? Owning XRP, XLM, Algorand, HBAR, those assets like that's where the money's coming into, right? We are still in a speculation crypto market. We are just speculating on what these assets should be. What you need to be doing is having a plan to when you're getting out of this market, because we are going to go back into a bear market. And then the next market could be that utility market. And that's really what I'm excited about. Okay. And it says with only 2 to 3 billion cryptocurrency tokenized for public blockchains, we're looking at a staggering, 14 million% growth in 2 years. Okay. All right. Okay, man. That's a lot of cheddar. So a lot of cheddar. Boston Consulting Group projects global assets under management to grow by 30 trillion over the next 3 years, man. Where do you think the money's going to wind up? You think they're going to want to work with a company like Medico, which is best in class technology for tokenization of these assets? Maybe, right? Cool. Remember Visa partnered with RippleNet, Interledger, and SAP? Visa has so many connections into Ripple, right? Temenos, Ripple, CGI, Ripple, Volante, Ripple, Earthport, Ripple, Task Group, Ripple, SBI, Ripple. Okay. All right. And people think XRP is nothing. I just don't understand what some people think here. Blockchain security technologies. In 2024, banks are turning to blockchain for security upgrades. Here it is, right? Listen, quantum computers are coming. They're here, right? People are going to be able to buy them very soon. If a bad actor gets a hold of a quantum computer, what do you think they are going to do first, right? If you are a hacker and you get a quantum computer, you could pretty much do anything, right? You could shut down power grids. You could hack into the SWIFT system and steal money. You could do anything that you wanted. So the reason that all of this value is going to end up on blockchain is because that's where it's going to be a lot safer from quantum attacks. That's why the systems, the stock market, bond market, derivative market, equity market, real estate, that's why it's all moving to blockchain. Ladies and gentlemen, right now, the cryptocurrency market is like 4 or 5 trillion. I don't have the exact number. This is just a guess. If you want to just berate me in the comments for getting the number wrong, that's totally fine. But I think over the next few years, you're going to see 50 trillion, 100 trillion, 200 trillion, maybe in a decade. The growth is going to be here. And I'm going to be here to give you the information. As long as I am here on this earth and I can breathe, I will give you the information. Interesting early Ripple investors connected to intelligence agencies that you should know, right?
Ripple received funding from notable venture capital firms like Andreessen Horowitz and Google Ventures. Some of these firms have historically backed technologies that have attracted interest from government agencies, and there's proof to support that. Now, also several of Ripple's early investors like Andreessen Horowitz and Pantera Capital have actually very strong notable ties to government and intelligence networks. For instance, Mark Andreessen, which is the co-founder of Andreessen Horowitz, has served on the Defense Policy Board Advisory Committee, which actually advises the United States Department of Defense. And his firm has actually backed projects connected to DARPA. So these links strongly reflect a broader pattern of Silicon Valley's collaboration with government and
Brad Garlinghouse, IMF, Ross Letko, remember that they were on the stage. Christine Lagarde, head of the European Central Bank, former head of the IMF, right? You have somebody here from the MAS, Monetary Authority of Singapore, Luxembourg House of Financial Technology, Chief Fin Officer of MAS, Director, Managing Director of the MAS. Can I ask you a question? Have you seen any other founders of crypto projects that are in pictures like this? If you have something like that, DM me on Twitter. I'd love to check it out, and I'd love to talk about it on the
agencies. And it's public information if you just find it out there.
It's public information if you find it out there. All right, so XRP, listen, we just went from 50 cents to $2.60. We are going to have a dump. It is Christmas. People are traveling. Guys, doesn't mean that the music is over. I actually moved about 30 or 40 grand worth of XRP into meme coins. And let me show you something. Hold on 1 second. Let me show you 1 second. Check this out. I gave you this at 1 million on this channel. I made a video. I put it out. I gave you this at 1 million market cap. It's at $63 million market cap. This was almost at like 66, 67, right? I think this could be, a few $100 million meme coin on the XRP ledger. There's just so much juice that's pumping into this too. I hope you're doing well. Happy New Year. I love you. Bye.